Welcome back to Born to Explore. In this video, we're going to give you a detailed review of the Blue Valley Dispersed Campground in North Carolina. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Maddie, and we're Born to Explore.
So what we're going to be doing as we're traveling around is taking detailed notes on each and every campsite that we stay at. We're going to jump right in. So this was the first campsite we stayed at after we left Florida. So we drove from Jacksonville, Florida area all the way north to the southwestern tip of North Carolina, just above North Georgia. So as far as the weather and temperature, it was pretty cold. The first day we got there, I don't think it rained at all. So the road in was great. It's a mix of gravel and dirt. And I don't even think the road would be that bad if it had rained. It was pretty hard packed gravel and dirt. The second night I think that we were there, the temperature dropped to 22 degrees. We woke up, we had ice from light rain the day before, had iced over all around our van. It ended up snowing, like snow flurries, not crazy snow, and nothing actually stick to the ground, but there were snow flurries.
We're from Florida, so.
Troy was freezing. We never let him sleep on the bed, but he actually jumped up on our bed and cuddled at our feet just to stay warm. So yeah, it was really cold.
My favorite part about this campsite was the creek. There was like this little creek that ran along the road, but our campsite actually backed up into it, so it was like almost in our backyard, so it was pretty fun. Hopping the rocks. It was mostly just me, but I enjoyed that, and the sound of, you know, the rushing water. It wasn't anything crazy. It was a pretty small creek, but that was just nice and relaxing. But what was a little disappointing was there was no trail. There was like a start to a trail, and I don't know if it got damaged in the last year or so and no one's just came and taken care of it, but there was no trail there now. But still, the creek was enjoyable. So we just really hiked the dirt roads, you know, the man-made roads, which was completely fine. It's just a little different than hiking, you know, in nature. Yeah. But still enjoyable.
Yeah, hiking along the roads gave us a really good look at the individual sites in this area. I feel like we hiked probably a solid mile, maybe 2 miles in either direction from our campsite. And one of the directions we hiked as far as you could go until like the road and the trail ended. So maybe going the other direction, you know, another couple of miles could have had something else to offer. But as far as the campsite itself goes, after seeing all of the other campsites, I'm pretty sure we had the best site. So the road pretty much dead ends at a certain point and it forks to the left and to the right. We went to the right first when we first pulled in, looked at a couple sites there, thought, you know, hey, these are open. There was nobody there, literally 0 people there when we got there. So we were like, you know what, you know, maybe just take the first site we see. Not sure if there is anyone else at these other sites. We ended up kind of taking a walk, parking the van, found another site that was maybe 50 yards from the main road. It kind of went down and curved around, had trees on both sides. So no matter where you were on any of the roads there, you couldn't see our spot at all. So it was awesome. Our van was kind of tucked back in there.
It was nice. It was like having our own little property. Yes. If it weren't snowed, I would have really enjoyed being there longer.
That site was awesome because we were able to let Troy off the leash, which was so nice. He had so much fun. So it was a pretty big open area once you got down to the site itself. It did have a fire ring. It actually had a raised up tent pad area, and then it had a picnic table, so, and a lantern post. Yeah. But so it was a decently open area. So literally in the mornings we would just open the door, let Troy out, you know, he'd run around, do his business. He would sometimes try to go back up the road towards the main road, but you know, he listened pretty well. We were able to call and come back. You know, he'd go and explore. He always wanted to go down by the creek, and when he hears the kind of little rapids in the creek or whatever he wants to jump in. Yeah, that was so awesome to just kind of have him around. We did some training with him to get him to heel to us without the leash on. So yeah, that was a lot of fun for us and for Troy. As far as the best site at this campsite, I think I would definitely vote our campsite. So if you drove all the way to the end of this, I think it's called Blue Valley Road, it comes to a fork, campsites to the right. I think there's 3, 4, maybe 5 campsites to the right. And then our campsite was the first one if you made a left at that fork, first one on your left. So you had the creek right in your backyard. Some of the other ones didn't have even a view of the creek from their site. So I feel like we definitely had the best site there. Navigation tips. I would definitely say be prepared for about a 3.5, 4 mile drive on gravel and dirt. The dirt was pretty easy to drive on. I could do probably 15, maybe even 20 miles an hour, and it didn't feel like the van was gonna fall apart. As soon as we hit the patches of gravel, it felt like the van was gonna fall apart. I mean, everything was shaking and rattling. Also, be prepared to lose cell signal.
We just lost our satellite connection, whatever you call that.
It says couldn't open map. As of right now, it's still navigating us and it's updating in the background, so I'm not going to click. It says try again or cancel. I'm not going to hit either, so long as it continues to actually navigate. Blue Valley Road, I want to say, is about 4 miles of paved road, and then it's about 4 miles of dirt and gravel road. I don't think we had any cell service on that entire section there. So, you know, we had navigated it from about an hour away, and even though I lost cell signal, I even got a notification on my phone saying that, you know, we had lost connection and it wasn't able to load the map, but it still navigated me all the way to the site, which was awesome. Just be prepared to lose cell signal. And at that site specifically, as far as cell signal goes, I think we had 1, maybe 2 bars of, I guess, what's called Verizon Extended 1X. Not exactly sure what that is, but we couldn't make phone calls. I don't even think we could get on the internet.
No.
But we were able to get some texts through. Maddie was able to get some texts through.
My phone was, his wasn't, which was weird because it said the exact same thing, like extended 1X, and I'm like, why is my phone better?
Yeah. And it was spotty at best.
Yeah.
So sometimes a text would go through, sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes we could receive a picture or send a picture, sometimes we couldn't. So just be prepared for that. If you're going to go to this place, bring all your water, bring all your food, and be prepared to be completely off-grid without cell service.
I think it was a blessing in disguise, at least for us, that our first campsite didn't have service, just to kind of get out of that always being on your phone. I definitely feel like I was a little addicted to it, just from like my withdrawals. I'm like, it's not sending. But yeah, so that was kind of nice, but definitely go with the mindset of being off-grid.
And just for some extra comments, again, we came from Georgia, which was about an hour drive from Clayton, Georgia, which is, you know, they have everything in Clayton, Georgia. There's a Walmart there, Chick-fil-A, gas, you know, everything that you would need. And it was about an hour drive from, I mean, pretty much the main road. I think it's 441 that goes right through Clayton, Georgia. From that road, you turn onto, I think it's War Woman Road or Avenue or something like that. And it's just right from there starts your climb up this mountain, and it's a long 1 hour drive of doing 25 miles an hour, winding up these roads. Just be prepared for that. Bring everything that you need. Prepare for a decently long drive. Would I take a large RV up this? If you're prepared to take some of those curves and you feel comfortable, you know, pushing your truck engine or your RV engine, you know, doing just a constant climb for about an hour, I would say you could definitely do it. I think the roads were hard packed enough. I think the sites, especially some of the ones that we didn't stay at that were off to the right of where our campsite was, you could definitely get a full, maybe even a Class A RV down those roads and to that spot. Okay, so last note, I would definitely say, and this is something that we learned at this site, you will want to check the weather while you're in town. And what we started doing after this site was taking a screenshot of the weather for the week, you know, like the 7 or 10 day forecast, so that we had an idea, because we had no idea that it was going to get down to 22 degrees. We had no idea that it was going to snow. We were trying to text family to check the weather for us, but we couldn't get their pictures through. So just definitely check the weather. It felt a little weird not being able to know if there's going to be a horrible rain or thunderstorm or hail or snow, you know, anything like that. So definitely check the weather on your way in. So for our final thoughts, would we stay at this campsite again? I think from both of us, that's a yes. I think the thing that I would want to remember would be only come to this campsite if we are looking for super laid back, completely off the grid, no cell service, just relaxation, sitting down by a creek. If we were prepared for that the first time we went, I think we would have enjoyed it way more. We could have done some additional preparations prior to heading there. So definitely thumbs up, I think, from both of us.
Thanks for watching, guys.
And please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already.
Remember, we were born to explore.